Hello YouTube, this is DaretoBeCreative, and I am here with a quick little tutorial. I had a couple of people, Tina, Jenny, and Miss Martha, had made some comments about they wanted to see how I made the book. A couple of people was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't used my Cinch in so long, I forgot how to use it. So I'm going to show you a quick little tutorial on how I did these pockets, because that was one of the questions. I'm going to do a separate video about the dolls, because I already had some questions on the previous video. I know Leela asked me and somebody else about paper piecing and fussy cutting. It was really about the fussy cutting, and so anyway, I will do a separate video on that. I have to, my daughter at the last minute, she's going to leave to fly back out of state, her and her son, and she wanted me to make one for her and one for her son. Now she wants 12 months. This one has 9 in it, and she didn't tell me whether or not she wanted it decorated, but we did talk about putting the months. Like on mine, I'm going to put Velcro, and I'm going to put labels on them. And as I mentioned before, when I made this, one was for the Julie Nutting Doll celebration, which hopefully you guys are watching and participating, pulling out your dolls. But this came about because I was going back to the financial piece. One of my girlfriends going to be teaching it, so I'm going to be taking that course. I already did it years ago. I did the book. I didn't do the actual course. I read the book, and I used to use the envelope system for my church. We did, oh gosh, 10 years ago, if not longer. But anyway, so going back to that, and this is the perfect time to get back into that again with, you know, uncertainty in our economy. So I said, you know what, I am going to go back, instead of just having loose envelopes, make it into a binder. Since, you know, I was just thinking I hadn't used my Cinch, perfect time to pull something out, and so that's what made me do that. So a couple questions were how to do the binding and how to make the envelopes, and they are very, very simple. And my daughter just said, oh, I want you to make me one for the rest of the year, so I'm going to show you how I did that. So for this one, I'm using the same paper pad to make it simple, which was the Uptown Chic Craftsmith, you know, Michael's, one of the hot buys. I paid $5 for that. So what you need, of course, is some scissors, a bone folder, a paper cutter, and a scoring board. But you can also do it without those. So I'm going to 12 by 12 sheet of paper because I wanted to get the largest size envelope, because I wanted to put my Prima dolls on them. Prima dolls are typically 8 inches tall, and some of them with the skirts are 5 inches wide. So I wanted a 4.5, 5 inches wide. So I needed to get the maximum amount I could out of the piece of paper, out of the envelope, to stick the doll on it. So in order to do that, I needed to make sure I had a width of at least 5 inches. So instead of making my envelopes the size of a dollar bill, I decided I was going to go ahead and make them larger to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So this was actually easier because it actually helped me use up my paper pad. So depending on how many sheets you want in your notebook is how many different pieces of paper you need. You want to think about your direction, and I'll show you why. But this one, of course, does not have a specific direction. You can turn it either way. So this is the perfect one to show you how to use it, but I'll show you the other way. So let me move the paper. Actually, you don't need the trimmer. I don't know why I said you needed a trimmer. Oh, I know why I said it. Because you can use this as a scoreboard if you do not have a scoreboard. All you got to do is lift your handle up, put your paper through there, and do like this. Some scoreboards have 2 on it, cutters. One's a cutters and one's a scoreboard. But if you don't, like I said, just put your paper right here and score it. If you don't have that or a scoreboard, you can actually just use a ruler and mark it. So I'm going to show you on this one. Now, what you want to do, and I use the white, hopefully that, I don't know, this will be better or worse. Since this doesn't have a pattern, direction, it's real easy. You want 1 inch for the sides. So on 2 sides, you're going to use 1 inch. So it's going to be 1 and at 11. So I'm just going to hit 1 and 11. So that's part of what I'm going to trim. Then I'm going to turn it. After I turn it, because I'm using a 12 by 12, I am going to make my score line on 4 and 9. Why? Because I want a 4 inch and a 3 inch. Okay? And let me explain to you why. So you can easily make the adjustments if you want a smaller envelope. So if you write this down, you'll be able to get it. So with this, before I even cut it, I'm going to tell you again. This leaves me with the space of 5 inches. This is a 12-inch piece of paper. I wanted 5. So So if I take out my space for 5, because that's the desired width that I wanted, that means I had 7 inches left. So 7 divided by 2 is what, 3.5. So to make it, one side has to be longer on the envelope and one side shorter. That's typically how the back of your envelope, you have a flap. One side is longer and the other side is shorter. So knowing that divided in half is 3.5 and 3.5, I decided make one side 4 and make the other one 3. 3 and 4 equals 7. That gives me that longer side and that shorter side. So this would give me an inch to hang over. If I did 3.5, 3.5, it would meet me right here in the middle, and it wouldn't have a flap. And I can show you, I did one like that. Okay, this one was one I messed up when I first did it. It would have just met each other like that. And usually envelopes hang over. So you don't want it to just divide it in half, or then it'll meet like this. So you want it to have an inch over. So if you wanted your envelope to be 2 inches wide, again, you can cut this down, but again, think about your width and think about how much paper you have left over that you need. It's always going to be an inch on the opposite sides because that's what you're going to cut. So again, 4, 3, 1, 1. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I know sometimes math can be challenging, and sometimes explaining it to somebody can be challenging. So again, I explain it to you one more time. You're going to have an inch on both sides, 1 inch and 11 inch. Then you're going to rotate the paper. You're going to score it at 4 and 9, or 4 inches and then in 3 inches, however you want to do it, like that. So when I do this, then I'm going to take my paper. And I am going kind of fast because I have to get this done. They're going to be flying out, and I need to get 2 books made for them, as well as my girlfriend is making a financial piece. She wants to make her book, and it starts next week. I'm like, okay. All right, so I'm going to take, I use my bone folder. You can use a pair of scissors, your ruler to fold it up if you don't have a bone folder. To just crease the edges to score it. You're going to do the same thing with the 4 and the 3. So again, you can already see that's it right there. Okay, so that's why you have this side longer than the other. So now what we're going to do is get your pair of scissors. Very easy. So we just want to keep these 2 right here, the center flaps. We want to get rid of the outer edges. So keep the center pieces and get rid of the top and the bottom on the 1 inch score line. So we're going to cut on the inside of the score line. And you may not be able to see that right here. You're going to cut on the inside. So right here, I am cutting on the left of my score line up to that score line and stop. Same thing over here. I'm going to do it on all 4 on the inside. And I don't know why I'm cutting it this way instead of doing it all at one time, but you'll see what I mean. So once you have all those 4 cuts, right? See that? Very simple. You're going to come over, you're going to miter the middle size. So you're going to cut a triangle just so that piece can come out, boom, and it should fall. You want to come in again on the inside to the right. Everything is to the left. Everything is to the left of the score line. So you're going to come into the left of the score line, cut it till it falls, or pull it down till it falls. Did you cut either one of those that good? Let's go back up. Boom. This one looks like it needs to be cut just a tiny bit more because I don't want to, when I close my envelope with these scissors. Okay, so this is the only waste that you will have left over, but you can also use these pieces of paper to decorate if you want to. And then once you have that, of course, the longer side is on the bottom. You're going to pull these back up again, scrunch that, just make sure it's straight. You are going to need your tape runner or liquid glue, whatever you want to use. I'm using an ATG gun. I prefer to put my tape on this side of the flap because this is shorter. It's because if I just run it right here, then I will have glue on this part. So I use the paper. You got it, boom. and there, that's simple to make. Now, let me point out some about directions. This one. So as you can see, my words are written in normal text, the way you read. When I did this one, in this book, I didn't want it to go that way. I actually did mine to go like the envelope version. So the bows are going that way, the length of the long side of the envelope. And I did that on this one here too. So this is the same background paper, and as you can see, my words, so it would be looking at it like this. And I did it so it looks different slightly because you can see the different orientation. Let me give you another example. Let's see. The bows, the stripes, you can go either way. Those, that's definitely directional. So this one with the bows, again, these are going horizontal and these are going vertical. Hopefully you can see the difference in the direction. Sorry about the lighting. Other direction of the bows. So it's not a right or wrong, it just depends on what you like. So when you're doing your layout and when you're doing your scoring and you put your paper up, what you want to think about is what do you want to see the length of the envelope. If it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. If you want this to be seen this way, then make sure you put the 4-inch and the 3-inch so that you can see the inside text that you can read in your normal orientation of horizontal. If you have a design that you don't care about, like this one, this can go horizontal or vertical. It's stripes, it doesn't matter which way you do it, really. That light, sorry. It really doesn't matter. You can get away with it going this way or that way. But when you want it to go in a certain direction, then you really need, I'm sorry, it is nighttime. You really need to think about it. So I would lay my piece of paper down and I would score the 4-inch and the 3-inch and then rotate it this way and score the 1-inch and the 1-inch. So the 1-inch will be scored on the sides for the top and the bottom. And hopefully that makes sense. So think about what you want to be in your center text. And I am, like I said, I apologize, I'm rushing. I have to make so many of these. Now, once you make these, just to finalize it, you can use, or you can do a couple other things, which I probably try to do with my grandsons. I'm going to probably laminate them. I don't think I'm going to laminate my daughter's, but I can always make her another one. But I think I'm going to laminate his because his paper pad that I'm going to be using is much thinner paper than this, and this is just your regular decorative. But I am going to pull out some of my Wear Memory Keepers chompers, and I'm just going to chomp some of the edges just to give it some variety. So I'm going to use, let's see, I have a scallop and a deco. But first, let me see how I want to organize my papers. They're all the same spring colors, but like I have metallic, 3 metallic pages. Yep, and the rest of them aren't, okay? And then I have Pika green. These are solid backgrounds, and all the rest of them are white backgrounds. So I always try to figure out which order that I want to put them in, and then I work from there. So I'm going to do, for every 3, I'm going to do a metallic base page because I know. Boom. Alright, okay. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Now, since this last one is striped, I'm definitely not going to put a stripe one in that one. I have 2 stripes, so one of the stripes is going to go in each one of these sections. And I think that's probably like the biggest thing is figuring out the order of how you want your stuff to go. So let's see, this is a solid. I'm going to put a solid back here. And then I have a solid in that section. I need one more there. And I have a solid in this section. So my solid's going to go in the middle. I think, yeah. flower next to the floral, so I put the bows there. And then with this one, it's 2 stripes, so we gotta move one of them stripes. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, I like this better. Yeah, there's a floral and a stripe and a solid. This is a floral. You know, it's pineapples, but that's a stripe and that's a floral right there too. It's got a solid and got a stripe. Okay, anyway, that's my order. Oops, just messed my own up. So it's important that you have all your flaps this direction, so you know where they're going. And then I'm going to chomp the edges. The other thing I want to mention too is, like I said, you can keep these laminated. I kept mine flat. I did add a little bit of elements, you know, with the dolls on them and then the paper pieces on it, which I love doing it. I think they turn out so adorable and the color is so nice and springy. I just think they are so cute. And as I use this and start decorating, I'll pull it out again and just show you if I make any changes to it. But with hers, I am going to just chop the corners. I don't know if I'm going to add anything to it, because like I said, in a little pinch per time, so I have to make 2. Now you're not limited to the cinch, but I am going to show you how to use the cinch machine. That was the other questions that people had, was about the cinch. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me chop all of these. I am going to come back once they are all done, and then I will pull out the machine and show you how to finish it off. So now I'm back, and I am going to cut my chipboard and my papers. So my album that I'm going to model after is 10 inches by 5.5. Remember, my pages are 10 by 5. I am adding 1/2 inch right here, just to give it so it won't be flush with that, because I like to have a little bit of space up in there. You can make it flush, so you can make this a 10 by 5 if you like to, or if you want to add tabs and layer your tabs. Like if you want to do the months of the year, then you can make it longer, wider. So it just depends on what you want to do. And I'm going to ask my daughter if she wants me to add tabs on it or not. I think I don't know. I need to check with her real quick if she wants me to add tabs, because if I do, then I need to make mine wider. But that is one of the things that you can do. So the tabs are going to probably come out at least 1/2 inch. So if you want to add tabs, I would actually make this, so that might be 1/2 inch or so, then another half. So I would say never add 1 inch. So I would make this probably a 6.5, a 10 by 6.5, so that again I would still have like a little 1/2 inch right here. You can make it flush, so you just need to measure your tab and how high your tab comes up to where you want it to be. I'm back, and I don't know what got missing, but I am going to cut my chipboard. My chipboard comes from these magnetic vents that I've been using my dies with for the last 12, 13 years. I'm going to remove this. I think I said this on the other one. I don't know. Yeah, I did. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm going to cut this. I figured out the size. The size is going to be the same height, 10 inches, but it's going to be 6 inches wide to accommodate the tags if you so decides to use them. So I'm going to make that 10. Well, I think I'm going to make it 10.5, because that's what I had to make the other one. Let's see. So now that I have a little bit of the, just a little bit over 10. It's not quite 10.5, but I'm going to make it 10.5. That blade. my 6. Excuse me. 10.5. So don't get rid of those old blades. And the trick that you can do, the current blades that you want to keep, is to run it through some bar soap. And that also can sharpen your blade. If you run it with soap, something waxy like soap. Soap is what I use in a pinch when it gets that kind of frayed look on the edges. Run it through. So I'm going to take that back off. Put this one back on. So now I have both my panels. I need to cut my cover. I'm going to keep this chip for because you never know. So the sheets I have left all have writings on them. So I need to see if I can keep this within 6 inches. And that means I'm going to take off 6 inches. So let's see. Let's start off with taking off 3 inches right here. Probably have to take a little bit more. And then we got it made. Boom. I made it within there. Alright, and now we're going to get 10 inches, 10.5. So let's see, let's take off an inch. Alright, and then we're going to take off. Should have did it the other way. That's alright. That is going to be the front cover. No, inside. This is going to be the front cover. So I'm going to do the same thing. Take off 3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to cut it to 9 inch so I can get 3 inches off. And then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to cut it at the 6 inch. And that gives me my 6 inch width. Now I'm going to cut off the bottom this time. I'm going to cut off, let's see, an inch. That'll take me down to 11. Then I'm going to take it down to 10.5. Boom. So that's my front, and that'll be my back inside. And then I'm going to use, I have that again. I am killing this paper pad. Yay, it feels good. When you kill a paper pad, boom, 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 paper pad. So I just have cut parts left. This one and my flamingo one. The rest of the cut parts like this. So this will be, I'm gonna have that. You know what? I'm gonna use this because I'm not gonna be. I can, but I know I'm not going to use it in another project, so I'm just going to actually use duplicates of these because these are easier to get rid of right now. I think I saved these. I can use these for my embellishments, so I'm going to do that. It's going to be duplicative, but that's okay. So let's cut this at 9. Boom. Cut it at 6. Boom. 11 inch. I'm going to cut this at 1/2 inch. Give me 10.5. Boom. Okay. So I'm sorry, but that's what we're going to do. Again, let's cut this at 9. 6. Alrighty. I'm gonna cut the bottom off on this one. I'm gonna raise this up on that one. I'm not gonna make them exactly the same. That's alright. And then a half an inch on the top. I mean, it's the same words, just see, more. There we go. And again, I normally would be Mod Podging this, brushing to make these. I am going to use scraps because I'm going to use probably for some doll dresses or something. Let's see. I might throw it away because I can't keep every sheet of paper anymore. But alright, so I am just going to tape one of these down. Pray it works because I'm on camera. So, and I'm way off. Sorry, I didn't realize I was way off. I apologize. I am just using tape. Like I said, I wish I could Mod Podge this. But I have to make 2 books. And just didn't have time. I'm going to look for my Mod Podge, and if I still have it, then I will put that on it. I'm going to line this up. Pray falls, but it. Sorry, so I already covered 2 sides. So I'm going to cover the back side, and I think the person's going to call me back. But I don't have time. My hand on the middle of the tape. Alright. So I'm just basically lining up the bottom of the edge. And you could have used wet tape, you could have used score tape, all kinds of stuff. And again, I make my daughter lots of journals. So first I'm gonna make one for my grandson, which that's in a separate video. But so, she's family, of course, obviously, so if anything goes wrong, she will call me to make it up. Always encourage my kids to write, to be reflective, and to, you know, track their spending, all that kind of stuff, so. Now I'm going to pull out my cinch. And I am going to hole punch and just show you how to use the cinch again, just in case you have a question. Here is my cinch. And again, remember, these are 2.5, but we're going to stay at 8. So what I'm going to do first to cut it, I pray I'm in the screen, is you're just going to stick it in. Oops. Push that all the way in. And you want to make sure all of these in, always butt it up against. And yeah, this is going to be inside. Okay. I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to pull this out, extend the arm as far as I can. Mine is basically 10 inches, so I'm going to do 8. I could go to 11 and do 10, but my pages aren't that big, so I'm going to stay at 10, which is 8 inches. I'm going to stick this in, which is going to be 1 square shy. There is, I think I showed this on that one, I don't know, clamp on the other side. Got so many videos. Let's see where we at. Put it down. We need to pull out number 8. There we go. We got a nice clean punch. And do the same here. To the laminator. And I'm going to show you how I open it because it is sealed. So what you do is just trace the outline with your X-Acto knife. And just come right on down. Right along the edge. Boom. And it opens right on up. So now you have insert pocket. Now I'm going to bend it right back on that crease that was already made previously. And then I'm going to use Velcro to keep it down. And then this becomes, you can write on it and wipe it off with alcohol markers. So, but it's going to stay open unless you crease it really hard and Velcro it down. So I've also had some tabs made that were already pre-creased, and so you can add those on to the edge. Just use some Scotch tape and tape those on the edge. I'm going to just show you real quick. Same way with the covers. We're going to open up this envelope. I am going to stick it all the way in, push it all the way back. All of these are pushed in. My ruler is pushed in, so everything is flush. So again, this is the ruler right here. It's pushed in. My pegs are pushed in. And I'm just going to press down. Pull it out. This is a 10-inch page, so I'm going to pull out 8. Pull the ruler all the way out. Extend the arm and pull out peg 8. Peg 8 is pulled, the rest are pushed in, and the arm is extended. I'm going to stick it back in. There's the gripper, paper gripper on the side. Then I'm going to stick it through the peg to hold the paper in place. And then I am going to press down. Release the paper and boom. There we go. Push back in, push back in, boom. Now I am using, again, a spiral. So I'm not using my crimper, but the crimper piece is real easy. Sorry about the noise, I'm going to open this up. So if you were using the crimper piece, you would just stick it on the side right here. It hooks on the side, and then you lay your paper on it. So you turn your machine around with the paper in it, and you use this to squeeze it down, and then it just closes that. But this is just a spiral one, so we don't need to do that, but that's how you do it. You just would turn this and it would squish it. Very easy. Very easy machine. I do keep, see what I just did? I do keep mine in the original box with this styrofoam. But you don't have to. You can just leave it sitting on your counter wherever you want to leave it, you know, in your room. But I haven't used it in a couple of years, so now I use it a few times. It feels good. This is going to be the back. And if I had time, I would Mod Podge these. I am going to use this to put them together. Let's see, give me some colors. Let me kind of see how I want to. Okay, these are all white base backgrounds. It's got 4 of those, and then we got some solids in between. And then move that up here. I like to make them visually go different. I got 3 more, so I'm going to put pink there, and maybe white there, and pink. Okay. Let's see how that looks real quick. I like to kind of just vary them up. It's not going to work for me because got 2 golds too close together. There's 2 whites too close together, so, and 2 pinks. I'm gonna put this pink in between there, and then maybe that gold in between there. Yep, okay. I think that's gonna work. It's not the best, but think we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Alright. Okay. So I am now going to, I'm gonna leave the pockets open just for the time being. I'm going to start at the bottom with this, and it's like I think I'm going to coil my way up, and it's actually pretty easy. I do check periodically midway through just to make sure that I have them all in there, because this laminate is a little slippery when it comes to movement, so we just want to make sure, keep them in. So I am starting to thread through the holes. I'm just going to make sure each one is in there. And then I'll check again like midway through just to make sure. And again, this is a quick one. You don't have to laminate. You can use contact paper if you like. I find that contact paper is pretty easy because it's removable. The final end of it. You can see the difference. This one has more of an alligator mouth, but that's because I used Velcro and I used tabs and I laminated. This one, I have to get some Mod Podge. I'm going to laminate, but I'm going to Mod Podge my pages because I did do a lot of fussy cutting on all of these pages, those layers. So I'm going to Mod Podge them, and I'm going to put the Velcro down in mine. So it makes it a little bit more durable. And so in hers, my daughter's, real quickly, if I had time, and I don't, I would have Mod Podged the front too. But these are laminated pages, and I put the tabs on them. And they're probably going to be really shiny, and I use the Velcro from the Dollar Tree. Again, so it has a little alligator mouth on it. And I just put these tabs on it really quickly with some Scotch tape. Because they're going to leave. Sorry about the sheen and the glare, but that's the laminate. But I think you get the idea of just a neat little album that you could do real quick. And there's the tabs. So that's why I gave her a 6-inch wide, so that the tabs wouldn't extend beyond. This is more like for her just to use planning around her house, organizational stuff. This is not necessarily like a traveler's notebook to go out in public or anything like that with it, but just she wants to keep her receipts in it for herself, her business, just some different things that she has to do webinar list and stuff like that she does for her business. So that's client list and stuff. So that's some of the stuff that she's thinking about doing with the chores, different stuff. So anyway, just wanted to show you that, give you some ideas. It was fun pulling out my laminator because it's my first time using it, and pulling out my Cinch, getting, you know, some practice with that again. Hadn't done that in a while. So again, take it, you know, be inspired, make your own personal version of it, because again, I have other ideas, and I used to make these a lot back in the day, and I'm sure I'll be making some more. So anyway, just wanted to give you a quick rundown and show you some things that you could be inspired to make and do, and real easy. These envelopes are simple to do, and it won't take much time at all. You don't even have to laminate, like I said. You know, I am going to do on my paper ones, I'm going to Mod Podge. That will make the paper more durable. But you also, after I Mod Podge, I'm going to dust them with a little bit of baby powder so they won't be sticky. And then, or you can use some matte medium. And I may have some matte medium. Yes, that may be even better, so then it won't be as sticky. But anyway, I'm going to pull up my matte medium if it's not too old, and I'm going to just do that so that my pages are a little bit more durable with, you know, inks and hands and stuff like that getting to them. And I'm going to put the Velcro dots right here, and the ones that I use are just the ones from the Dollar Tree Crafter Square. So anyway, it will be just like that. So anyway, thanks for liking, watching, and subscribing. I dare you to be creative. Bye bye.